Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing? Listen, welcome to our empowerment moment. This is your host, your boy, none other than Miguel A. Ramos. Listen, check out my website, miguelaramos.com. But I come here to motivate you. That's what I do. I'm your motivational speaker. I'm your empowerment coach. I am your transformational developer, right? I love all these titles. You know, it's awesome titles. You know, they're all just titles, but I basically do all these things, and that's really just help people. I love to help people. I love to encourage you, to motivate you, and to let you know that you can do all things. You know, yes, you know, even like the Bible says, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. But you know what else strengthens you? You know, your terminology, your determination, you know, your tenacity, your wisdom, your know-how, and your hunger. You gotta be hungry. You ever been so hungry, man? They put a plate of food in front of you, you like, you was gonna eat it up just like Pac-Man. You know, you have to do all these things. So nevertheless, you know, you got to use every and anything that life throws at you to be able to overcome. That's what we are. We're overcomers, you know. We are overcomers. We are the dominant race. We are a species that can communicate, that can converse with one another. So this is why, you know, believe it or not, the world has been given to us. It is our inheritance. So you have to do your part, you know. So get up, do something, whatever it is. I want you today to find something that you're good at. And if you say, well, Miguel, I don't know what I'm good at, listen, then you call me and I can help you find what you're good at. You know, believe you me, you know, I can help you at whatever it is. So, you know, today, you know, it's a very special day. You know, I'm super excited. Every day is special to me, but I'm super excited because, you know, I'm definitely seeing the flourishing and the fruitfulness of what I'm doing. You know, sometimes you do something for so long and then you say to yourself, you know, oh man, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna pan out? But you know, I see already the wheels turning. I see the cogs turning. I see people reaching out. People are working. People are doing this. People are doing that. And it's such an awesome feeling. It's such a motivation. And you know, if you didn't catch it on my Facebook page, listen, I had an awesome interview with my transitional trainer, you know, my business partner. You know, this guy is awesome. I'm telling you, he has worked in like 27 countries. You know, he's been all over the world. He's been working with network marketing, I want to say CEO, Fortune 500 company. This guy is doing it. As a matter of fact, he just got this great opportunity to work with the Maxwell Group, John Maxwell. I don't know if you guys don't know who John Maxwell is, but listen, Google him. He's an awesome guy. But this guy that I'm working with, you know, his name is Ali Madawi. Ali, how you doing? God bless you, brother. Awesome guy, awesome friend, down to earth. He will work with you. Listen, Google him, look him up, you know, go to workwithali.com as well. You know, he's an awesome guy. But listen, I had the greatest, I want to say opportunity to interview with him yesterday. It's going viral right now. The interview is all over Facebook. Check it out. You know, myself, along with another great friend of mine, you know, Mr. Clark Tent, you know, awesome man, the guy, you know, also was part of that. You know, we were having a great conversation, an awesome time, and we were just sharing our experience, sharing what we have been through, sharing the obstacles that we have overcome, you know, just to be where we at right now. So again, you know, look for that interview. You know, I'll put it on there, you know, put the link on there that you can see it. But nevertheless, you know, again, I want to just speak to you all today. I want to just speak to you and encourage you because, you know, one question that I'm always asked is, you know, how is it that you don't run out of material? Like, how is it that you always have something to talk about? You know, believe it or not, and this is going to come as a shocker to you, believe it or not, I'm a motivational speaker. Yes, I speak for a living. I'm a pastor. I'm speaking 3 and 4 times, you know, during one day session, you know, and those sessions of speaking can be, you know, from 45 minutes to almost an hour and a half. Sometimes I don't even know it, and I just speak for 2 hours. However, when I'm done with my day, I don't feel like talking. I don't feel like talking. You know, I push myself to speak because, you know, I have a family that I have to, you know, cater to, and then I have to encourage, and I have to do all the things that I'm doing to you, I do to my family. So once I dedicate time to my family, believe it or not, you know, I sink into my couch, I watch the game, and, you know, I just, you know, my wife will let you know. Sometimes she'll ask me a question, and all she gets out of me is, Why? Because, you know, sometimes when you do something so much, you know, sometimes you not that you get tired of it, but, you know, you be like, okay, I need a break. But people always ask me, how is it that you don't ever run out of material? And the reason that I don't run out of material is because I read. I read, y'all, you know, and this is coming from somebody who did not know the language. Somebody who really, really struggled understanding and knowing the language, you know. But once I picked it up, you know, I didn't like to read in school. I learned to really build a passion for reading after I became an adult. And I love to read, you know. I have books everywhere, you know. I love what Miles Monroe said, you know. He said, you know, he tries to read at least 4 books a month. You know, I'm not quite there yet, but I just love to read, you know. I read blogs, I read magazines, I read books, you know. I have a book here, a book there. Everywhere that you go in my house, there's a book. There's books here. I have a shelf right there. Then I have a huge shelf right behind me over here to the left. There's books everywhere, you know. And just a little bit that you pick up here, you know, you don't have to finish, you know. It's good if you finish the book, but you don't have to finish it all right then and there, you know. Yes, it gives you a sense of accomplishment, but sometimes you extract some great informational points and you can say, oh, you know, that's good, and you start building yourself little by little. So that's one way how I build myself. The other way is I ask questions. Very inquisitive. I ask people questions. You know, when I'm with them, I said, you know, what's going on with, you know, I hear people, I see people in their feelings, in their emotions, and things like that allows me to, you know, formulate plans, agendas, systems, whatever it is, because I really want to help people. And I'm also, and then number 3, I'm also very observant. You know, just look around you in the world. You know, there's so many things that you can interact with, so many things that you can, you know, again, be inquisitive about, that it can build you up. So, you know, I said all that to say this, that sometimes, you know, we think that you need to have the knowledge in order to get started. We think that you need to have a degree in order to get started. We think that we need to have, you know, the money in order to get started, the business in order to get started. And you really don't need none of those things to get started. All you really need to get started is you. Everything that you need, believe it or not, everything that God has blessed you and endowed you with to be productive, to start your own business, to lead your own parish, whatever it is all within you. You just have to make the decision. So today, I want to give you 5 good reasons as to why you should start. You know, we always discourage ourselves from starting anything. Our minds, believe it or not, has been, I want to say, programmed to stay in the comfort zone. That's what it is. You know, I believe that even, you know, from you know, the past, from historical past, you know, don't go outside, you know, you probably get shot by an arrow or something, I don't know, a dinosaur eat you or something, I don't know, but, you know, probably it has been embedded in our system to stay in the comfort zone, you know. Where you going? You know, I remember when I was younger, where you going? Well, Mom, I'm going outside. Don't go outside, stay inside. A lot of crime outside, bus will hit you, car will hit you. Now it's like the kids are glued to the phone. Now it's like, what are you doing? I'm playing inside. Go outside. Don't be outside, you know, get off that phone, get off that video game, go outside. So, you know, it's almost like the reverse. But what I'm trying to tell you is that we have been almost kind of programmed to stay in the comfort zone. You know, you grow up, you go to school, and when you go to school, they basically program you to get a job, work for somebody else, pay your bills, and die. That's it. You know, work, pay your bills, and then that's it. You have nothing else. But you have to break the mold. You have to break that system that was not for you. I'm not telling you to quit your job right now, but in the process, in the meanwhile, you have to build your own dreams. Listen, you cannot get rich building somebody else's dream. That's the bottom line. You know, you work hard for somebody else. You have to ask them when to take off. You have to ask them when can you spend time with your family. You have to ask them how and when and where you can spend your money, where you can vacation, how can you vacation, how long can you vacation. That's not life. That's not living. So you have to somehow, on the way, break the mold, break the system, and create your own system, create your own vision, your own destiny. You hold your own destiny in your hands, but you have to get started, ladies and gentlemen. Friends, family, listen, you have to get started. Don't let anybody discourage you, not even you. Not even you, because you will discourage yourself on the way to get started. You're going to say, well, you know what? You know, I'm not that eloquent. You know, I'm not that great of a speaker. I wasn't that great of a speaker. People now commend me and say, man, you're such a great speaker. And I'll say, really? Oh, yeah, thank you. You're right. Because everything takes practice, you know, and I love one thing that my wife says, you know, everybody says practice makes what? And everybody says perfect. No, it doesn't. Makes improvement, right? Hi, honey. So Practice makes improvement, and that's what you want to do. You want to improve at what you do. So get a pen and paper right now, or if you drive and listen, just listen to me right now, but record this in your mind like Kramer. Yeah, I got it in my mind. Record it in your mind like Kramer, right? And listen to these 5 good reasons why I should get started. Number one, the number one reason why you should get started is time. Oh, I cannot stress that around. Listen, I did a whole sermon series on time. Time, just alone. I believe we started in the New Year's service, and then we just catapulted into all the whole month of January. But time is of the essence. Listen, I'm going to tell you something, and you're not going to like what you're going to hear. But time waits for nobody. Time waits for nobody. I said, listen, you are now, if you have a job, if you're an employee, you're working for somebody, you're trading the most valuable commodity, the most valuable thing that God has given you, which is time. You're trading that for a piece of paper, for money, for coins, for capital. You're trading that. You're trading your time for whatever it is. So basically, you're telling people to put a value on your time. And now, I'm not knocking anybody, but if you're getting paid $10 an hour, $15 an hour, even $20 an hour, you're basically agreeing that $20 is the value for 1 hour of your life. I'm going to let that sink in. $20, that's how much an hour of your life is worth? $20? Well, listen, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. What I'm trying to tell you is to broaden your mind, to work yourself, work at what you're doing, that you can then say that, you know what? My hour is worth more than $10 an hour. There's lawyers that get paid almost to $500 an hour just for them giving you advice. Consultation, doctors, and judges and all these, right? So what do you value? What is your hour value? Time waits for nobody. So start investing in your time. Start developing your time. Start, increasing your knowledge and all this stuff, that your time now can be worth a lot more. The knowledge that you're putting out, the skills that you put out, even your life lessons, your own experience. Maybe you went through a bad breakup. You know how many people would like to know how to avoid that? Maybe you had relationship problems in the past, and you say, you know what, I can show you how to avoid the pitfalls. Good. Write it down. Write some notes. Make a book about it. How to avoid the pitfalls of a bad relationship. Boom. There you go. You got the title. Now come up with the chapters, right? Chapter 1, Don't say yes right away. Boom. There you see, I'm giving this thing to you, right? It's so awesome. So, again, whether you're a woman or man, whether you're, short or tall, whether you're, whatever it is, whatever ethnicity, there's no excuse of not to get started. Time waits for nobody. Also, you know what? Time is of the essence. Time is of the essence, meaning that there's no greater time to start something than right now. I'm talking about right now. You got the internet, you got social media, you got your smartphone, you got whatever it is. If you have your smartphones, you don't even need a holder. All you need is your hands. You could, if you can do this, watch this. If you can have a phone and you can do this with your phone, that's it. You have a multimedia producing company. Your hand and your face. And you got all these filters right there, whatever it is. Go ahead and do it. You got editing tools. You got apps. You got ways to put, posters, all these things. You can do, there's no excuses, It's almost like God is just blessing us with all these things that he wants us to succeed, right? So take upon the time. Take it now. Listen, don't wait till Monday. Don't do I call the Monday rule. The Monday, everybody say, well, I'll start Monday. I'll start fresh. No, you know what starting fresh? Starting fresh is right now. Write something down. Go on your phone right now, or take a paper and pad and say, you know what? I'm going to start right now, and I'm going to write it down. Make a plan. Write it down. Start right now. Time waits, for nobody. And also, the other thing with time is the longer you wait, the harder it's going to get. Yes, the harder it's going to get. Why? Because your body is going to feel so sunk into that comfort zone that it's going to be even harder to pull out, right? So, boom, you got to start right now. So that's number one. Number two, you'll feel better. Oh, my God, you'll feel better. Listen, I can tell you the anxiety and the fear that I had in everything that I start. And guess what? As I continue in my future, I'm going to start some new things, and I'm going to have anxiety and fear about that. But I already have a track record of kicking fear in the butt, that when fear comes again, I'm like, man, I know how to beat this dude. Boom, boom, 1, 2, right? Show these guns, right? And I'm going to kick fear in the butt. So you have to understand, you have to have a track record. It's almost like the Bible. When David faced Goliath, David wasn't afraid of Goliath. Why? Because he had defeated a lion. He had defeated a bear. So he said, man, this guy ain't going to be anything. I'm going to kick him in the butt right now. So do small successes and small strides. Like, for example, if you say, this, I'm going to start exercising, get up today, watch the exercise video. Just watch it. Don't even do anything. Just watch it. You know, I'll guarantee you're going to feel a sense of accomplishment because you completed something. Then the next day, you know, get your shorts, get your spandex on, whatever it is, your working gear, and, you know, just maybe do it halfway. You don't have to go the whole 45 minutes, but do something. Do something. Start somewhere so you'll feel better. You'll feel accomplished. You feel like you're getting something. You feel like everything is starting to move. You know, you feel your body now is adapting to something different, something out of the norm, and it'll make you feel better. When you feel better, you tend to do more. You ever just had that feeling first thing in the morning and you say, you know what, man, I'm going to tackle the day. You know, that's why I do motivation, you know, in the beginning of the day. Why? Because it makes you feel better. If you don't feel like doing anything, you're not going to do it. Listen, trust me, I've had those days where, you know, I wake up, you know, I got my bathrobe on still. I'm just kind of like, I don't feel like doing nothing. I just sink in my couch. But then, you know, I listen to something. I listen to a Les Brown or John Maxwell. You know, I listen to somebody, you know, Brian Tracy, and just pumps me up. And I say, you know what, let me get up, let me do something. You know, I start writing, I start speaking, I do a video, you know, wash my face, some nice lotion on, you know, nice shirt, you know, boom, and here I am, hallelujah, God bless. You know why? Because, you know, it makes you feel better, and it also allows you to you know, help other people. When you're feeling like you're contributing to society, when you're feeling like you're helping somebody else, even if it's something, let's say you've been speaking for 3 weeks and that one person just give you that thumbs up, you know you help that person. You know that you encourage that person. Even if it's something that they already know, but you reiterate it, it helps you, it makes you feel good when you know that you're contributing to society, right? So it helps you feel good. And that's what you want to do. There's no feeling like winning, right? So what we at? Number three. Number three is real good. Number three is it builds confidence. Oh, it builds confidence. The more you do it, the more you become consistent, it builds confidence at what you're doing. You know, in the interview yesterday with Ali, you know, I said a quick testimony that the first time that I actually did a live video, you know, my wife was recording, and, you know, like I said, you know, they have been recording me for a long time now in my church, you know, and you know, as I'm speaking and everything, but I never really paid attention to the camera. And for those of you who know me, I am a total fool. I just, you know, have fun on myself. Like I said, listen, ain't nobody gonna do me like I'm gonna do me. So why suffer being a cheap copy of a great original, right? So I'm gonna be me. So I don't try to be anybody else. So, you know, it took me literally a whole week to do a 15-second introductional video for a church. A whole week. I was so afraid, you know, of the camera. But, you know, here I am now doing videos, you know, over and over again. And it's just such an encouragement, you know, and it built, and through the consistency, I built confidence. You build confidence, you know, and to the point where you actually start missing it, you know. To tell you the truth, you know, yesterday the interview went so well. We spoke about, you know, being in the on the camera. We spoke about, you know, just getting it done and then just overcoming that fear. That, you know, today, you know, going to sleep, all I was thinking about is just getting up right now and just encouraging the people, getting up and speaking to the people. I didn't have a plan today. I didn't have, you know, what I was going to speak about. You know, it just came to me. But my thing is, you know, I wanted to be, you know, and not in an arrogant way, but I wanted to be in front of the camera just to encourage the people, to let you know that I was once, and not too long ago, I'm talking about maybe like a couple of months ago, I was once, you know, afraid, and now I'm not. So fear is not real. Fear is just something that we have made up, you know. So you can overcome, and you will overcome if you take that first step, right? So again, it builds confidence, and you want that confidence that you can continue to tackle the next endeavor. Number four, I just spoke about that, right? Number four is you overcome fear. And when you overcome fear, it gives you a sense of victory. Victory is so good. Listen, there's no other feeling greater than the feeling of winning. When you feel like you have won, when you feel like you have accomplished something, you know, when you feel like, okay, you made it, that you crossed that finish line, that you actually did something. There's no greater feeling than that. You know, sometimes some of us try to hold it back. You'll be like, oh, you did a great job. You'll be like, Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah. But you know, you feel good. You feel like saying, yes, I did do a good job. I did overcome. I did beat, kick fear in the butt. And that's okay if you want to go to a room and just, scream it out, whatever. That's okay also, but you have to have that not fear, but that feeling of victory. That feeling of victory will always, it's almost like, for lack of a better word, it makes you get addicted to succeeding, and not just succeeding and stopping, but succeeding and then getting the next venture, getting the next thing out there that you can truly overcome and become an overcomer. So victory is such a great feeling. And when you, like I said, when you are victorious in small strides, because victory doesn't have to say, oh, I just opened up my first office. Victory doesn't have to be, I just got, 1 million followers. Victory doesn't have to do that. But victory could be like, you know what? Today I got up and I wrote something. Or today I got up and, I encouraged somebody. Or today, I did a video. Listen, do a video. Even if you don't post it on your camera, you have phone, you have photo, and then you swipe it to the left, then you have video. Do a video. Watch it right back to yourself, get somebody you trust. My wife and I, we do this all the time. What do you think about this video before I post it? And oh, okay, it's good, so encourage yourself in that, do a video, see how you like, and then get it done. I guarantee you, there is something that you have that people need. We need it, well, it could be a life experience. Like I said yesterday, maybe you could fry the best chicken in town, you got the best kept secret, Don't reveal all your recipe, but listen, do a video. Listen, I'm going to show you how to put your foot in this chicken, and whatever it is. I'm a chicken eater, so if you do, tag me on it. I'm just kidding. But, whatever it is, you're a gardener, you're good with people, you work with special needs children, all these things, there's so many great ways, for you to better society. And if you share your secrets, you share your passion, you share those things, you will create a following, you will create a group of people. So there's a leader inside of you, an overcomer inside of you, a victorious person inside of you. And if you share that, I guarantee you that other people will overcome by way of you as well, right? So now, last but not least, number 5, I love this, and this is very important because, like I said, I can teach on this all day, but the reason that you have to, and this is number 5, I should have made it number 1, but the reason why you should start, the reason why you should start something or start anything is because, believe it or not, what you're trying to overcome in that period of getting started, what you're trying to overcome, believe it or not, is preparing you for the next victory. It's preparing you for the next victory. Think about it. If you are a person who says, you know what, I don't have time, make time. I'm telling you, make time. I don't have time. Full-time pastor, full-time worker, full-time husband, full-time dad, full-time brother. I'm a full-time everything. I don't have enough hour during the week to do what it is that I do, but I find it. If I sacrifice, I get up half an hour earlier, I go to bed half an hour later, whatever it is, I find time, I make time in there to do these things, find time, but it prepares you for where you're going. I have become so disciplined into where I'm going. What I mean by that is that the discipline that I have now is preparing me not just for where I'm at, but for where I'm going. Because I know that I'm going to get to travel. I know that I'm going to work with other people from different places of the world, which right now, let's say the sun is rising over here in New Jersey, United States. In another part of the world, it can be setting. You understand? So, it's preparing. It's God's way of preparing you for where you're going. The obstacle, if you're dealing with time, if you're a person who say, you know what, I can't manage my time right now. Well, that's what you need preparing for, because you cannot ask for the greater if you cannot manage the least. In other words, listen, if you can't manage your life the way that it's going right now, how is it that you're asking for more? You can't, right? So manage what you have, condense it, organize it. You ever had clutter all everywhere and you'd be like overwhelmed by the clutter? You'd be like, oh my God, I can't take care of this. But when you organize it, what you're doing is you're consolidating it. So what happens is you can consolidate your life. If it's out of order, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, and you consolidate it, that means that you you summarize it, you put it together, and that gives you time to do other things. For example, get up early, go to sleep a little bit more. If you're saying, well, no, I can't do that, I need my sleep. Okay, then you know what? Pace yourself throughout the day that you're not as tired, There's so many ways to manage your life. Like I said, I can give you so many pointers, but it prepares you for where you're going. What you're dealing with right now prepares you for what you're going, I've learned to be stretched beyond my capacity, and then released and shrink back, that when I take in what it is that I need for this season, guess what? I'm able to bear more because I've already been stretched, right? So I remember when I first started doing 2 services at church, I was so overwhelmed. I was so nervous, apprehensive about it, and I said, I can't preach twice a week, that's too much, but then God stretched me beyond, and I started preaching twice and doing a study and doing counseling and doing all these things. And then when it came back down, then it was like, listen, we need you to go and, after doing 2 services, we need you to go and preach over here and preach over there. Then to me, it was like, okay, no problem. Why? Because I've conditioned myself for it. Conditioning is not just physical, but it's also mentally and spiritually. So condition yourself. What you're going through right now is preparing you for where you're going, right? So again, those are my 5 reasons why you should get started. Listen, if you want more content, check me out. Check out my business page, right there on Facebook. But nevertheless, listen, go to MiguelARamos.com. That's MiguelARamos.com, right? So, check out the website right there. We have so many great, powerful tools, so many great ways that we can work with you. And listen, I'm still offering this, because I don't have that many slots. But right now, my gift to you is complimentary leadership evaluation. Complimentary leadership evaluation. I have to, summarize it a little bit because I'm telling you, I'm getting booked right away. So, my complimentary, this is my gift to you, complimentary leadership development evaluation. Go to my website, MiguelARamos.com, and click the link on the top and book an appointment. Book an appointment with me. I don't care if you book an appointment and you say, listen, I just have a quick question. I want to know, how do I develop this? How do I do that? How do I do what you do? How do I become a brand? All these things, I can help you with those things. I can help you overcome the fear. I can help you get deep down to the root, extract the thing, and I can help you understand why you're fearing, right? When you understand it, then you tend to overcome. So my friends, listen, all of that is on the website. Motivational speaking engagement, personal development, leadership development, all these things are right there. All the tools are right there. Check it out. Even if you just go by, check out the website. Let me know what you think about it. Drop me a line, drop me a text message, whatever, a messenger. Let me know what you think about it. Encourage me as I encourage you, and I guarantee you that we will continue to go forward. Well, listen, my friends, thank you for your time. Thank you for, taking time to empower yourself in our empowerment moment. This is your host, Miguel A. Ramos. Continue listening to follow me, but I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to empower you, and I'm here to help you transform. So like Zig Ziglar says, listen, see you at the top. Peace.